Very good evening, viewers. You're watching To The Point. I'm Preeti Choudhry. Allow me to take you through the headlines. Prime Minister Modi meets Japanese counterpart. India and Japan set 10 trillion yen investment target in India. Roadmap for the next 10 years discussed. Home Minister Shah's big attack on Congress and Rahul Gandhi over abuse to Prime Minister Modi by a Congress worker, asks Rahul to apologize. TMC MP Mohan Bhagwat says Amit Shah's head must be chopped off and put on a table. Complaint filed against Mahua. RSS chief speaks out. Bhagwat jokes, if we choose BJP chief, there won't be a delay. RSS reiterates no role in governance, says if given a job, we'll do it at any age. Another alleged suicide horror in Bangalore. 27-year-old Shilpa found hanging at her residence. Mother claims harassed by in-laws for more dowry. Trump says laundromat attack on India again. Navarro renews India Kremlin laundromat. Says India gives financial boost for Russia war. All right, viewers, this was most interesting. There was an RSS conclave in the national capital for 3 days. And for the first time, we had the RSS chief, Mohan Bhagwat, be his candid best. And talking to the media in a press conference, he took hundreds of questions, clarifying on what he really meant when it came down to should Prime Minister retire at the age of 75. He also spoke about the Ram Mandir and many other issues. Listen in.
RSS chief Mohan Bhagwat on the final day of his 3-day conclave addressed media and touched on issues he has not spoken about in detail before. He clarified that Ram Temple was the only movement that the Sangh supported, but its members and volunteers are free to agitate for Kashi, Mathura as Hindus.
एकमात्र आंदोलन राम मंदिर था जिसमें हम जुड़े इसलिए उसको आखिर तक ले गए। अब बाकी आंदोलनों में संघ जाएगा नहीं, लेकिन हिंदू मानस में काशी, मथुरा, अयोध्या तीनों का महत्व है। 2 जन्मभूमि है, एक निवास स्थान है। तो हिंदू समाज इसका आग्रह करेगा और संस्कृति और समाज के हिसाब से संघ इस आंदोलन में नहीं जाएगा, लेकिन संघ के स्वयंसेवक जा सकते हैं। वो हिंदू है।
The RSS chief Mohan Bhagwat reiterated that Islam has been a part of India since its introduction and will remain in the country.
भाई पहले दिन इस्लाम भारत में आया तब से आज तक इस्लाम यहाँ है और रहेगा। ये मैंने भी पिछले बार भी कहा था, इस्लाम नहीं रहेगा ऐसे सोचने वाला हिंदू सोच का नहीं है। हिंदू सोच ऐसी है नहीं। In spite of that,
Thursday marked the end of the Sangh's lecture series, 100 Years of the Sangh's Journey, New Horizons. And the RSS chief clarified on Sangh's relation with BJP and its selection of chief.
there might be opinions also. It is not required that myself and Dattaji should think on the same lines. But we will discuss, we form a consensus, and together whatever we decide, whether it is according to my opinion or against my opinion, this collective decision I will follow. When that nature is there is no quarrel. तो मतभेद के मुद्दे क्या है? मतभेद के कोई मुद्दे नहीं होते, इश्यूज में मतभेद होता है, सबका होता है। हमारे यहाँ मतभेद के विचार कुछ हो सकते हैं, मनभेद बिल्कुल नहीं है। और एक दूसरे पर विश्वास है कि जो प्रयत्न कर रहे हैं वो प्रामाणिकता से कर रहे हैं, निस्वार्थ बुद्धि से कर रहे हैं। क्षमता अपनी अपनी है, परिस्थिति अपनी अपनी है, अलग अलग चलेंगे तो भी अलग अलग जाना नहीं है, सबको एक जगह जाना है।
हर जगह ये बात होती है कि भाजपा का अध्यक्ष रोड मैप सब कुछ संघ तैयार करता है, क्या ये सच है?
सब कुछ संघ तय करता है, ये पूर्णतः गलत बात है। तो इस मामले में सलाह तो दे सकते हैं, सलाह तो दे सकते हैं, क्योंकि देखने से भी सीखते हैं लोग, परंतु डिसीजन तो उस फील्ड में उनका है, इस फील्ड में हमारा है। इसलिए हम तय नहीं करते। हम तय करते तो इतना समय लगता क्या? हम नहीं करते, हमको करना नहीं है। टेक योर टाइम, हमको कुछ कहना है।
There were 218 questions in total, and one of them was about the contentious issue of the retirement age of a public figure at 75.
I never said that I will retire or someone should retire.
The RSS Sangh Chalak's remark about retiring at 75 was seen as a reference to Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Both the Prime Minister and the RSS chief turn 75 next month. RSS chief also blamed conversion and illegal migration for demographic imbalance in the country and urged all Indians to have 3 children so that population is sufficient and under control too.
जनसंख्या के असंतुलन में वास्तव में उसके कारण क्या है? पहला कारण है मतांतरण, कन्वर्शन। दूसरी बात है घुसपैठ। तो ये ठीक है कि हमारा डीएनए सबका एक है, लेकिन व्यवस्थाएं होती है। आप पूछते हो घुसपैठियों को रोकना सही है क्या? मैं कहता हूं अगर डीएनए एक है तो परमिशन लेके आना गलत है क्या? परमिशन लेके आना चाहिए ना। परमिशन नहीं मिलती तो नहीं आना चाहिए। तो इसलिए इस घुसपैठ को रोकना चाहिए। कुछ तो सरकार रोक सकती है, सरकार कुछ प्रयास कर रही है, धीरे धीरे आगे बढ़ रहे हैं, परंतु समाज के हाथ में है कि हम अपने देश में रोजगार अपने देश के लोगों को देंगे। अपने देश में भी मुसलमान नागरिक है, उनको भी रोजगार की जरूरत है। मुसलमान को रोजगार देना है तो उनको दीजिए, जो बाहर से आए उसको क्यों दे रहे? उनके देश की व्यवस्था उन्होंने करनी चाहिए। फिर अपने देश की पॉलिसी है, पॉपुलेशन पॉलिसी, वो 2.1 रिकमेंड करती है। अब वो देश का एवरेज 2.1, ये तो ठीक है, लेकिन संतान होती है तो 0.1 संतान कभी होती नहीं। गणित में 2.1 का 2 होता है, लेकिन मनुष्य के जन्म में 2 के बाद 0.1 होता नहीं ना, 3 ही होता है, इसलिए 2.1 मीन्स 3। तो भारतवर्ष के प्रत्येक नागरिक ने यह देखना चाहिए कि अपने घर में 3 होने चाहिए। ये देश की दृष्टि से कह रहा हूं।
From Ram Mandir to disputed sites to demography change to contentious retirement age, it was a tell-all briefing for the centenary celebration of the Sangh. Bureau Report, India Today.
All right, never before have we heard Mr. Mohan Bhagwat being as clear and precise on certain issues. Lots of conversation, lots of debate. It's generated at the back of that press briefing. Joining me is right now Sanjay Jha, political analyst, Deshrata Nigam, political analyst, Neerja Choudhry, senior journalist and columnist. We also have Sanju Verma, national spokesperson, and Bhavna Sharma Jain, national spokesperson Congress, Sanju Verma, national spokesperson BJP. I'd like to begin with Deshrata Nigam. Deshrata Nigam, for somebody who has close links with the RSS and has studied the RSS, to give us a larger understanding. We had Mr. Mohan Bhagwat, who actually took over 200 questions on that press conference, touched on every issue that had been seen contentious, at least in the recent times, where we speak of 75 years of retirement. He was very clear that maybe he was quoted out of context earlier and said that he himself is not going to retire at 75. He'll keep contributing and working for the RSS. The second point, Deshrata Nigam, which was really important, was when he spoke and touched upon the Ram Mandir, because he made one thing clear, that for now, for the RSS, Ram Mandir was an agenda of the RSS, and that ends there. However, you have the Swam Sevaks who can continue, to ask and fight for Kashi and Mathura.
Yes, Padmaja. In fact, it was a very
Preeti,
inclusive
sir.
speech. I'm so sorry, Preeti.
No problem.
I'm so sorry. Preeti, in fact, it was a very inclusive speech, touching almost every sphere of life which affects Indian society, the various sections of the society, and also on the international aspects also. And touching it, because it is not the international trade or something is not the aspect of the RSS, but the general idea is that the international trade and relationship should be voluntary, willful, and not under any pressure, which is enough to say on the subject. Now, you raised two very important points about the retirement and the Ram Mandir. Yes, Ram Mandir, the Sangh was always involved right from the stage of inception of the movement till the completion of the temple and the Pran Pratishtha of the temple. However, so far as Kashi and Mathura is concerned, Sangh per se is not involved in it. However, Swam Sevaks are free to do it, because we can't stop anybody from taking part in a kind of a protest or an agitation for building a particular temple. And most of all, we know these are sub judice in the courts, and the Swam Sevaks probably may be assisting in those places in the legal framework and legal proceedings. That right, I don't think, can be taken away from any Indian citizen if they want to, because judiciary is the ultimate arbiter of the disputes between the two parties, whether they are religious groups or otherwise. And if you look at the issues of population, we know that 2.1 is the replacement level of the population, and Hindus today are at 1.9%. And others are slightly at higher. The Muslims are at the higher. He has also said the population of both the groups, the percentage, the fertility rate has come down. There is no doubt about it. However, if you have to have a very balanced and healthy population,
Right. So I have no control over it. The fader falls after 2 minutes. I'm sorry, I'm going to come back to you on that account. Sanjay Jha, I want to pull you in on this. There was something that especially the opposition and the Congress kept speculating, that something's not right with the chemistry between the Sangh and the BJP, especially when it came down to one comment that the RSS chief had made a short while ago in July, where he spoke of a retirement age, which was 75. He came and clarified that completely, Sanjay Jha. Do you think a lot of issues were addressed on that account?
Preeti, first and foremost, I think if Mr. Modi retires, I think the entire country will be grateful to him, because we need to get rid of this authoritarian and fascist culture, besides which it has been destructive for the economy and the common man. And everyone knows about how the institutional emasculation, whether it's the ED or the EC or the CBI, has now, frankly speaking, become a joke. If one watches what is going on with regards to the Election Commission in Bihar, I can tell you that Rahul Gandhi's allegations have to be taken seriously. Who's responsible? I think the buck stops at the top. Now, as far as the RSS is concerned, I find the organization always speaking with a forked tongue. Now, Mr. Bhagwat says nobody's going to retire at 75, but how hypocritical can this organization be? They retired L.K. Advani, the man who actually brought the BJP to power, using the most divisive communal agenda. But like it or not, he gave BJP what they wanted, political power that they had never had before. They sacked him. Effectively, they sacked him. But for Mr. Modi, a different yardstick. So this is basically a very dubious, duplicitous party. You can't take them at face value, Preeti.
But this is not a party. Sanjay Jha, these are the words of the RSS.
Preeti,
Go
let me
ahead, sir.
finish my 40
Yes,
seconds
of course, sir.
uninterrupted.
Sorry, go ahead. My bad. Go ahead, sir.
I'll probably dip 10 seconds into it now because you interrupted me, okay? I'm just being scientifically accurate.
No,
The
we'll give you
truth-
an extra 10 seconds. My fault.
Okay. Okay. Preeti, here is the point that you have Mr. Nigam telling you that, we have told our sevaks if they want to protest for Kashi and Mathura, they're free to do so, but we are not going to back it. For God's sake, what is a movement? A movement is an aggregation of people. So effectively, this is an organization that should have been a charitable and a social organization. It should become the political party. And I have always believed for them to claim nationalism when the truth is that the BJP has taken funding from the grandson of Muhammad Ali Jinnah, I think is rather rich, isn't it?
All right, so I'm glad you've concluded in 10 seconds. I want to, and my bad, I apologize. I shouldn't have interrupted you. I don't do so usually. Neerja Choudhry, I want to bring you in and I want to give you your 2 minutes, ma'am, to sum it up. Because what we've discussed ad nauseum over months now is all's not quite well between the Sangh and the BJP. Number one, the sheer fact that we still don't have a BJP chief, which this time the RSS chief said that if it was really up to them, the BJP would have had a chief by now. Then, but of course he was speaking in a lighter vein. But larger issues, Neerja Choudhry, with what the RSS chief said, somewhere down the line, does that confirm that now things are on an even plane with the BJP and the RSS? They've seemingly reached a better front than what was being discussed or contemplated earlier?
I think, Preeti, it would be honest to say that probably 90% of the people who were there in Vigyan Bhavan, about 1,300 people in fact, wanted an answer to that question of 75 years. If it had been the top question, they would have wanted an answer to. And Mohan Bhagwat, I must give it to him, answered all the questions, controversial questions. He took them frontally and he gave his view. Whether it was language, whether it was caste, 75 years, party president of the BJP, he addressed them. Now, certainly 75 years, I am not going to quit, and I never asked anybody else to quit. Shows that certainly, the Prime Minister, nobody really thought that the Prime Minister would walk into the sunset or Mohan Bhagwat would quit. But there was curiosity, will something happen? And that has been put to rest, and that tells you that they have come to a working relationship, a working understanding for the moment between the RSS and the BJP. The RSS has never had it so good. These people are all over in educational institutions, vice chancellors, governors. Their core agenda has been fulfilled. There have been reservations about the functioning of the BJP, and that is one of the reasons why the BJP slumped to 240 seats in the 2024 elections. Now, have they sorted them all out? As far as we understand, the party president is a very important position as far as the RSS goes. The organization is very important for them. And even though he said if we had to do it, probably the BJP will also say the same thing. If we had to do it all on our own. The truth is probably they will have to come to some kind of an understanding. I can't imagine that the BJP will go in for a national president without getting some kind of concurrence.
Right. Ma'am, I'll come back to you. I just want to get in our political spokespersons into all of this. Sanju Verma, you must be glad because at least a few things have been laid to rest, which were debated many a times in the studio. And one of them, of course, was that age of retirement. Well, it's no coincidence that both the RSS chief and the Prime Minister will turn 75 coming month.
Preeti, first things first, let's be very clear. Sonia Gandhi is 78 years old. Mallikarjun Kharge, the Congress president, is 83 years old. The Congress's alliance partner, the DMK, I remember in 2011, Karunanidhi was 87 years old and still the chief minister. So I think age is just a number. But beyond the age-related semantics, let's get one thing very clear. I wish to respond to Sanjay Jha, who said that the economy is crashing, it is in doldrums, blah, blah, blah. I mean, you have to really be a proverbial ostrich with your head buried deep in the sand. Just a couple of hours back, the news, the biggest news I say of this season is the fact that contrary to every expectation, India's June quarter GDP growth has come in at a phenomenal 7.8%. Manufacturing growth at 7.7%, construction at 7.6%, the tertiary and services sector at 9.3%. And guess what? Inflation is at an 8-year low, 1.5%. The services HSBC PMI index came in at 65.6, a 20-year high. And for the first time in 18 years, 18 years, I said this should be the biggest talking point. Standard & Poor, the global rating giant, improved, enhanced, upgraded India's sovereign rating from BBB minus to BBB, which basically means that the adverse impact, if any, of the so-called Trump tariffs will be completely offset. And imagine, today we are a 335 lakh crore economy, and the likes of Sanjay Jha, who don't know GDP from GNP and Aadhaar card from PAN card, are sitting here and rubbishing Prime Minister Modi's achievements. You call him a fascist? He's the only leader in 62 years to be elected for the third time in a row as Prime Minister. Now take that and start sulking.
Okay. Yeah, but Sanju Verma really has it in for Sanjay Jha. I'll circle back to Sanjay Jha after his turn. But Sanju Verma, I'm also going to come back to you because that 75 age cut wasn't something that the Congress or the DMK proposed. It came very well from the BJP. I want to go back now to the Congress spokesperson. Bhavna joins us as the Congress spokesperson here. And the larger question, ma'am, is very, very clear on that whatever speculation that Bhavna Sharma that was being made on the Congress's part has been laid to rest, especially where the retirement age of the Prime Minister is concerned.
Well, Preeti, one thing I would like to point out is that, today, in listening to Mohan Bhagwat ji, it was very obvious to see there was a lot that was unsaid. There were some things that were said that were outright and were spoken, but there were some things that were underlying and unsaid, like the continued differences between the RSS and the BJP. They exist, and it was very obvious in his, off-the-cuff remarks, like, हम पर होता तो हम अभी तक ये निर्णय कर चुके होते, when asked about the BJP president. So, and his complete contradiction to Mr. Amit Shah and talking about English language. So, you saw the contradictions between the BJP and the RSS, and the differences that are underlying are very, very obvious in the conversation that Mr. Bhagwat was having with, a large group of people. Besides that, what he showed today was their continued not having faith in the constitution is so obvious. Whether it is any, they're talking about their divisive agenda of Hindu-Muslim, differences between them, or it is about, women empowerment, talking about having 3 children and having, there was no conversation about what about employability of women and what impact it will have on livelihood of women as well. So I think that the overall agenda that was so obvious, continued to be what RSS is known for, which is extremely divisive and, completely not believing in the constitution, and they want to change the constitution. They still keep talking about the Hindu Rashtra, and, the no place for any other voices to be heard, besides theirs. So they want to dominate on that, and that was very obvious with Mr. Bhagwat's session today. Was not.
All right. Ms. Sharma, you might want to touch on the differences, but I think Neerja Choudhry put it down very aptly. We don't know, whether there was, whether there were any issues at all, if there was speculation or has there been a, reconciliation. But one thing is very clear by that press conference, that there has been now a working understanding between the BJP and the RSS. On that plane, they seem to be together. And, I want to go back to our panelists, 2 minutes each to all of you. Sanjay Jha, let's begin with you. I reckon you have enough to answer on the questions posed by Ms. Verma.
And how much time do we have this time?
2 minutes, sir. All of you have 2 minutes, and I promise not to interrupt.
Excellent. Well, here is my short reply. Firstly, I don't make personal comments on people. And one of the reasons why I don't appear with this spokesperson on programs is because of the very vulgar nastiness that happens. So because I have unlimited time, I'm going to take advantage of it, Preeti. The next time, if you're inviting me on India Today, either is going to be the BJP spokesperson or me. Now let's carry on. You know, she's made a statement actually on GDP. Let me tell you that the GDP deflator, I challenged the Modi government to go public and say, what is the GDP deflator used to come to the real GDP? If you look at the figures closely, nominal growth has actually come down. So they're claiming a higher real GDP on the basis of a lower inflation. And since we are a student of economics, we can argue about that till the cows come home. If the GDP was really booming, Preeti, India would not be jobless. India would not be having farmer distress. MSMEs would not be crumbling. And this party and government is only talking about the stock markets. Coming back to the RSS issue, I think the statement made by Mr. Mohan Bhagwat on having 3 children is regressive, is archaic. It's like taking India backwards. I think we should not ignore that. Preeti, you are a distinguished woman, very professionally versatile, as is the BJP spokesperson and the Congress spokesperson. I personally respect women doing very well in their careers. I think for anyone in this day and age to treat women as some kind of a reproductive factory is insulting, is demeaning, is mortifying. Let people make their own choices, Mr. Bhagwat. Who are you to give a lecture on how families should evolve? I think that's an issue that I think everyone should be concerned about. And I do believe that he's put the communal agenda right in the center. Remember, Preeti, for all the tall talk, Hindutva is their obsession. That's what they believe in. They did not believe in secularism and socialism. Can you really trust the RSS?
That was very well timed to exactly 2 minutes, Sanjaya. Deshrata Nigam, to bring you in on this, I want to ask you a larger question, Deshrata Nigam, because, for somebody who studied the RSS, till now, a lot of Mr. Mohan Bhagwat of the RSS had been shrouded in this mystique kind of, narrative, which one didn't quite know what the thought was it regressive? There were lots of questions, which clearly you had the RSS chief take, over 200 of them. This is a first. Deshrata Nigam. Is there a strategy behind it to come out and take every question, no matter how uncomfortable it was, to maybe a public outreach?
Well, Preeti, in fact, this is not the first. 2018, we had a similar Vyakhyan Mala, and Bhagwatji had taken the questions, a huge number of questions at that point of time also. And Bhagwatji has been speaking his mind and the RSS worldview from various forums. Take any forums, whether it is book launch or anybody or various medical centers or any inauguration that he has been invited to. He has been speaking his mind.
So we'll hold your time. We'll hold your time. And I just want to ask you, and just for better understanding of our viewers, your time is frozen, so it's not that you're losing time. But the question, Mr. Nigam, is it a recent, so yes, you might have had it in 18, but off late, we've seen Mr. Bhagwat take a very public open stand, taking questions, be it in press conferences, uncomfortable question about women participation in the RSS or the lack of it, speaking about it, talking about it, communicating. We haven't seen that. It's a very recent phenomenon.
No, it is not. In fact, being a part of an RSS, we have been participating in various functions and hearing maybe the media does not cover it as much it should. This particular event was actually covered extensively by the media. And to say that we do not believe in the Constitution, certainly not. He did refer to the Constitution, the constitutionally guaranteed reservations he talked about. He also talked about the certain aspects which should be taught to the children about the constitutional duties, rights, and the guiding principles of the Constitution should be brought to the students at an early age. So these is all affirmation to our Constitution. And I don't know from where people are getting the concept of we only believe in that only Hindus should exist. He clearly made a distinction between Indian Muslims and the illegal migrants Muslims who are coming from outside. So he says the jobs must also be given to the Indian Muslims because they also require. So that distinction is not there between Indian. He says we all are Indians. And at the same time, people are talking about women empowerment. Women empowerment has always been in the forefront. We have a Rashtriya Sevika Samiti. the women wing of the RSS, similar to RSS, which keeps on working on the ground. And to say that there is a difference of opinion between BJP and he himself admitted that there may be a struggle, but there is no quarrel between the BJP and the RSS. Difference of opinion will always be there. And he clearly said, we never impose. We only give suggestions, advice.
Okay, I'm sorry, sir. Time's up. Final comments, Nirja, I'm going to bring you back in. So a working relationship now clearly been established between the BJP and the RSS. How do you see things go forward? Will we now maybe see, a BJP chief which is amiable to both the RSS and the BJP?
Look, I feel that Mohan Bhagwat was trying to, what I would call mainstream the RSS, reach out to communities that have been suspicious of it, or what he called, dispel the myths about the RSS. And therefore, this whole exercise of answering questions, inviting people who have been critics of the RSS to those 3 days. It was an interesting exercise. What I found, though, he struck many inclusive notes, that Hindu Rashtra included everyone. Whether you called yourself Hindu, Hindvi, Bharatiya, or Sanatani, all this it didn't matter what you called yourself by what name. It was the same thing. You had the same DNA, same cultural background. So those kind of things he talked about, inclusive notes. But yet, I found that his stand on certain issues was toughened. In the last month, he's talked about we should not look for a shivling under every masjid. But he shifted, I think, on the Kashi and Mathura, having said in 2019 that we are not going to back any Andolan, which still remains. But he said a Swayam Sevak could, as an individual, take part in an Andolan. Now, there is a very fine line between the two. So maybe, and also the 3-child norm, what is going to be its impact? I think all this needs to be thought through. So maybe there are pressures within the Sangh from the extreme right wing, from those who pursue this line, that he had to synthesize the pulls and pressures to be able to present a package which will draw in many more people in the coming months, which they obviously plan to do.
All right, final 2 minutes to Sanju Verma and our Congress spokesperson. Sanju Verma, please go first.
Preeti, one area where I agree with Sanjay Jha is, yes, I agree, Preeti Choudhry is highly accomplished. And I have another big debate coming up, but I'll go so far as saying she remains one of my favorite anchors, despite having huge disagreements with her on and off. Now, let me, I have been called, this BJP spokesperson is nasty, she's vulgar, crude, indecent, obscene, tasteless, boorish, misogynistic, disgusting, foul, imbecilic, loathsome, offensive, detestable, repugnant. These are the litany of adjectives that I use for Sanjay Jha. I don't want to make this personal, but on zillion debates when he has abused Prime Minister Modi, I have called him out for who he is. He is a suspended leader of the Congress party. In the last 5 years, the Congress has not found it worthwhile to make this man their official spokesperson. He can come and rant as much as he wants. Not wanting Sanju Verma to be on the same panel is like Shiny Ahuja saying he does not want to star in a Salman Khan movie. So I don't care 2 hoots about who you are. Mr. Jha, keep your pearls of wisdom to yourself. I will repeat. What we need to understand beyond the semantics is this. 56 crore Jan Dhan bank accounts under Prime Minister Modi. 19 crore rural households have access to clean drinking water under Prime Minister Modi. We need to understand this, that more than 10 crore Ujjwala Yojana gas connections have been given under whose aegis? Prime Minister Modi. We also need to understand more than 47 crore Ayushman cards have been given under whose aegis? Prime Minister Modi. We also need to understand today more than 95 crore Indians have access to broadband connectivity. Thanks to whom? Prime Minister Modi. We are the world's 2nd largest steel producer, the 3rd largest solar energy producer, the world's 5th largest stock market, the world's 3rd largest car producer, the world's 2nd largest bike manufacturer, the world's 2nd largest cement manufacturer. And if you still abuse Modi, you need...
All right, ma'am, time is up, but... You know, once again, it's a gentle request to all our panelists. There's 2 minutes time. One can use it whichever way you want, and it goes for everyone. I'm not talking about any particular person. Use it to attack a panelist or use it to put your point forward. I would hope we're all mature adults and very intelligent, that we put our points forward. Last 2 minutes, Bhavna Sharma, I give you. Make your point before we wrap this debate.
Preeti, I just want to point out that I think my friend Sanju Verma here today did not understand the subject of this debate. This debate was about Mohan Bhagwat ji's press conference and the issues that RSS, what it stands for and what it raised. So I'm going to go back to my points. Number one, I feel that I disagree with Neerja ji when she says that, you know, it was very inclusive. It was blatantly not standing for the secular fabric of this country and the idea of India. It was talking about, their golden-eyed boy, the UPCM has been bulldozing masjids, and he clearly backed the agenda of the RSS, what it stands for, which is dividing this country and dividing our population. Number two, I would say it was, as Sanjay Jha already pointed out, it was extremely regressive. And it didn't talk about, we don't see women in any leadership positions in RSS. RSS does not even have, they talk about this women, movement that they have, but it just doesn't come to the forefront. And you see across the country, you don't see women in RSS. And what came across in his speech today, in his dialogue today about having 3 children is itself, the regressive thought that totally came across. Thirdly, the Constitution. When you say that no, conversion should not be allowed, are we living in a country where people should have the right to choose what religion they follow? I think the Constitution of India guarantees us that. So when I say that he does not stand for the Constitution of India, it's his remarks like this, that okay, fine, that people should have, every individual, every citizen of India should have the right to choose their own religion and practice it. And the government should allow this country to prosper. And
right, ma'am, time's up. And I appreciate we're running out of time. That's all the time that we had, at least for this debate. We're going to go into our next. I appreciate all our panelists for joining us. Thank you for your time.
This mega show of strength by Congress and RJD has snowballed into a political controversy. On Wednesday, after Rahul Gandhi left the venue in Darbhanga, one Congress worker was heard abusing the Prime Minister. Mohammad Rizvi, a Congress worker who was recorded abusing the Prime Minister, was later arrested by the Bihar police. Home Minister Amit Shah condemned the comment, calling it a new political law, and demanded an apology from Congress.
मोदी जी की माता जी का जीवन एक गरीब घर में अपने सभी संतानों को संस्कारित कर ऐसे स्तर पर पहुंचा जाए कि बेटा विश्व का नेता बने, ऐसे जीवन को अपशब्दों से बोलना ये भारत की जनता कभी सहन नहीं कर सकती। और इससे ज्यादा राजनीति में सार्वजनिक जीवन का कोई पतन नहीं। मैं आग्रह भी करना चाहूंगा राहुल गांधी जी के कि जरा भी शर्म बची है तो मोदी जी की, उनकी स्वर्गीय माता जी की और देश की जनता की जरूर माफी मांगे।
This incident has given the BJP fresh ammunition to corner the opposition in Bihar. The Bihar Chief Minister Nitish Kumar on social media also condemned the foul language. Meanwhile, the Congress claimed that it was not in the party culture to hurl abuses at the Prime Minister.
बिल्कुल गलत है। मैं समझता हूँ हमारी राजनीति में इस प्रकार की भाषा की कोई जगह नहीं है। मैं उसकी निंदा करता हूँ, भर्त्सना करता हूँ। हमारी पार्टी का कोई लेन देन नहीं था। यात्रा निकल गई थी, मंच पर कोई व्यक्ति चढ़ गया और अपशब्द का प्रयोग किया, उसकी मैं निंदा करता हूँ। और हमने हमारी पार्टी ने कभी भी इस प्रकार की राजनीति को बढ़ावा नहीं दिया। मैं समझता हूँ बड़ा निंदनीय है और इस प्रकार की भाषा का कोई स्थान हमारे देश की राजनीति में नहीं है।
BJP workers staged protest outside the Congress office in Patna. Later, clashes broke out between BJP and Congress workers. Both parties accused each other of instigating the clash.
कांग्रेस का मुख्यालय है और यहाँ पर आप देखिए किस तरीके से कांग्रेस दफ्तर के ठीक बाहर सैकड़ों की संख्या में बीजेपी के कार्यकर्ता हाथों में झंडे और डंडे लेकर पहुंचे हुए हैं। कई विधायक यहाँ पर मौजूद हैं और कांग्रेस मुख्यालय पर जो है वो पत्थरबाजी भी की गई है, गाड़ियों के शीशे भी तोड़े गए हैं और आप देखिए किस तरीके से यहाँ पर जो है पूरा बवाल मचा हुआ है। देखिए बवाल किस तरीके से मचा है। कांग्रेस कार्यालय के अंदर चल के आपको दिखाते हैं। यहाँ पे देखिए कांग्रेस कार्यालय पर देखिए यहाँ पे शीशे किस तरीके से तोड़े गए हैं। यहाँ पे आप देखिए और किस तरीके से यहाँ पत्थरबाजी भी जो है वो की गई है यहाँ पर कांग्रेस कार्यालय पर।
The dates for assembly election have not been announced yet, but battleground Bihar is heating up. With Rohit Singh, Bureau Report, India Today.
All right, viewers, so that happened in Bihar. The cadre, the Congress worker who raised that slogan was later arrested under many sections of the Indian Penal Code. But having said that, what one might think was also very worrying was something that Mohan Bhagwat from the TMC said 3 days ago, where the Home Minister Amit Shah was concerned. Listen in.
আমি জিজ্ঞেস করছি যদি ভারতের সীমান্ত রক্ষা করার আমাদের কেউ নেই, যদি অন্য দেশের মানুষরা রোজে শয়ে শয়ে লাখে লাখে কোটি কোটিতে ঢুকে যাচ্ছে, যে আমাদের মা বোনদের উপর চোখ দিচ্ছে, আমাদের জমি কেড়ে নিচ্ছে, তা তোমার প্রথমেই তো অমিত শাহের মাথাটা কেটে তোমার টেবিলে দেওয়া উচিত।
All right, so this was Mohan Bhagwat who said that 3 days ago using language which is highly objectionable where the Home Minister is concerned. But having said that, also viewers, I want to hark back to one reaction of a very senior leader from the BJP, which is viraling right now on social media on what he said about a year ago, because he also did not face any repercussions of what he said, using a word which can be highly disgusting and condemnable. Listen in.
ইন্টারেস্ট আমার কোনো ইন্টারেস্ট গত 4 দিন ধরে একই প্রশ্ন করে যাচ্ছেন রাহুল গান্ধী কে হরিদাস পাল বলছে স্টোভের উপর কয়লা দিয়ে সকালবেলা চা গরম করব তৈরি হয় কদিন আগে বলেছে আসামে বলছে সকালে উঠে স্টোভের উপরে কয়লা দিয়ে তারপরে চা বানানো হয় স্টোভের উপরে কয়লা দেওয়া হয় আমি তো কই দেখিওনি শুনিওনি
All right, so that was Suvendu Adhikari using the foulest word and language for Rahul Gandhi. No action was taken against him. We are very glad that action was taken against the Congress worker there. Especially, he's been charged with various sections of the IPC. We have our political face-off for the evening. Sanju Verma, National Spokesperson BJP, Mahima Singh, National Spokesperson Congress, because now it's a direct BJP versus Congress, especially on what the Congress workers said. Mahima Singh, the defense of the Congress till now has been that this was a plant by the BJP at your own rally to embarrass the Congress. How do you furbish any proof of that? He was a card-bearing Congress worker.
Jai Hind. Preeti, which card you are talking about, I'm not aware. But before I come to answer the direct question that you have put up, let me first of all condemn such remarks, such actions against any national leader, PM or not. Whether it is PM Modi or not, such remarks against national leaders, whether they are from the Congress, the BJP, any party, I think lower the discourse and they are highly condemnable. Which is why various Congress leaders have tweeted and put their statements out against it. And Pawan Khera ji has said today clearly that please, he's been arrested. Please find out where is he from, what is his identity, who is he? Because we have clarified he's not one of our men. Number one. Number two is Preeti. As I say that these remarks are condemnable. The ruling party that has been ruling this country, governing this country for the last 11 years, must set the benchmarks. Unfortunately, BJP spokespersons, and you will see in the due course of time during this debate only, do otherwise. And their tone and tenor Their words are contrasting. How they have been speaking about Rahul Gandhi ji over the past 11 years and before that, how their leaders have been speaking about Rahul Gandhi ji and Sonia Gandhi ji, of course, are reflective of the remarks that Mr. Narendra Modi made about Sri Rahul Gandhi ji's mother and the Honorable President of the Congress those times. He didn't resist. His words were very clear. His tone was very clear when he said, Jersey guy, Congress ki vidwa. Who was he talking about? Today, the Home Minister says, well, Prime Minister's mother. Prime Minister's mother is a mother, but anybody else's mother is not a mother. Congress ki vidwa, Jersey guy, these remarks can be made about a tall leader, let alone the mother of her children. About a tall leader, the only longest serving woman.
Ma'am, your time is up. I would reckon it's, we might want to get into the ambits of leaders, but language such as what we heard is despicable for anyone to use. I want to bring in Sanju Verma into this conversation. Sanju Verma, the Congress claims till now that the person who made the derogatory, horrific comment against the Prime Minister was not from their party. They want the Bihar police to investigate. The instigation is that he was actually a plant by the BJP. I want to add to this, Sanju Verma, because you also heard somebody like a Suvendu Adhikari, who's not just a Congress worker, he's the leader of opposition, represents your party in the state of West Bengal, who used a term, I would think, as horrific as the Congress cadre for Prime Minister Modi. But Suvendu Adhikari used the same kind of terminology for Rahul Gandhi, and no action was taken.
Preeti, let me make one thing very clear. I'm aggressive, but I've always wholeheartedly condemned abusive language. On your show, I remember a year back, I was asked about Ramesh Biduri, and I said, I don't support or endorse what he said about a certain community on the floor of the parliament. Despite being the national spokesperson of the BJP, I am under no compulsion to endorse abusive leaders. That is the freedom that my party top brass gives me. Equally, if you abuse the Prime Minister, you abuse the Home Minister, and you expect that Sanju Verma aapko debates par free run degi, and I will sit and applaud you and clap for you, you are grossly mistaken. Aapko aapki auqat bhi dikhai jayegi, you will be shown the mirror, and you will be spoken to in the language that you understand. Let me say one thing very clearly. What did Jairam Ramesh call the Prime Minister? Duryodhan. What did Kanhaiya Kumar call the Prime Minister? He called him Nalayak Sanghi. And what did Sonia Gandhi say about the Prime Minister? Maut ka Saudagar. And what did Mallikarjun Kharge say about Prime Minister? Ye Ravan se bhi battar hai. Adhir Ranjan Choudhry said, ye gandi nali hai. So let's not get into your gali versus my gali. My limited point is this. Forget everybody else. Let's talk about leader of the opposition, Rahul Gandhi. What did he say about Prime Minister Modi? Just barely a little over a year back, ahead of 2024 Lok Sabha elections. अरे ये जो नरेंद्र मोदी है ना, ये जब 2024 का चुनाव हार जाएगा, ये जो देश की जनता है, ये सड़कों पर उतरकर मोदी को डंडे मारेगी. Imagine, this is viral on social media. This is not an AI generated clip where Rahul Gandhi, as abusive as he can get, says Modi ko yuva janta डंडे मारेगी. This is the same Rahul Gandhi who says चीन की सेना ने आकर भारतीय सेना की पिटाई कर दी तो यहाँ
time's up. I'm running out of time, but I'm going to give you both 1 minute each to put your piece forward. Mahima Singh, 1 minute of all the allegations that are right now. You continue to deflect, suggesting that this person was never in your party alone.
Absolutely not. We have said, let the investigation be done. He's been sent for a remand for 14 days. Let the truth come out. Otherwise, we wouldn't have said it with such clarity. Murkhon ka Sardar, Preeti, who said that? Madam, you are ill, let the Shehzada take over. Who said that? Pappu's birthright, Amit Shah said in 2013. Rahukal, Nirmala Sitaraman said, in a reply to 2022 budget speech. Videshi Takaton ka Mohra, Amit Malviya said. Prahlad Joshi goes on to say he knows nothing about an elected MP. Not a bright kid of your dynasty party, Sambit Patra. The list is so long, we don't even want to delve into it, Preeti, because that's not our legacy. That is the BJP's legacy. We'll let them fend for it. We know where we stand. We know that the BJP is rattled and terrified of the crowds that they can see on the roads in Bihar. They know that the Bihar election is gone for them. They know that Rahul Gandhi.
Ma'am, time's up. We'll only know where the Bihar election goes when that last vote is counted. But Sanju Verma, your 1 minute starts now.
I remember being on debates with Mahima Singh before the Maharashtra election result. She said Maharashtra to Rahul Gandhi or Uddhav Sena ki party jeetegi. She had a nice big fat omelette on her face. Then I remember ahead of Haryana election results, she said, "Arey, you know the Jats of Haryana don't like Narendra Modi." She again, had a nice big fat omelette on her face. Haryana, we were voted back to power for the third time in a row. Then Mahima Singh said before Delhi election result, Delhi to is baar Congress jeetegi. Congress could not even win one single seat. The BJP came back to power after 27 long years. Mahima Singh again had a nice big fat omelette on her face. Arey, Prime Minister Modi ko bhul jao. Even Draupadi Murmu, the Supreme Commander of Armed Forces, was humiliated by Rahul Gandhi, humiliated by Sandeep Dixit, humiliated by Sonia Gandhi. A tribal woman from Mayurbhanj district of Odisha became the first tribal woman president of India. और आपके राहुल गांधी ने उनकी भी बेइज्जती की. So Mahima Singh, you have nowhere to hide. Stop giving your pearls of wisdom to BJP. You have nothing by way of.
All right, we're gonna let it rest. But viewers, we give you something to think about, because there will be so many debates, especially across channels, that you will see that will be stilted towards one side or the other. We're trying to give you perspective here. What was said after the rally in Bihar was obnoxious. The Congress worker, right now we're going to call him a Congress worker because this is where he was found. An investigation is pending and he has been arrested. The Congress claims that he's not ours, he's a plant to make the party look bad. We'll only know that's a matter of investigation. On the other side, this is not a Congress or a BJP. Foul language in the realms of politics in India has been terrible. You just heard what Mohan Bhagwat said, where the Home Minister is concerned, and you also heard what Suvendu Adhikari said, where Rahul Gandhi was concerned. So none the richer, it cuts both ways.